Hello and welcome to the Tinkercards video gallery. Today I'm going to do a monochromatic purple card and using the Imagine stamp set by Stamploration, the Art Plorations Old Rose stencil and the Mixed Media Elements sets. So there's sort of different stamp sets. So it's going to be a sort of a bit of a splashy, splotty card. That's a sort of my idea. And it's going to be all in tones of purple. So I've made like a little card here to see how well my purple inks, the ones that I wanted to use, are going to blend. And they're okay. This is a bit too bright, so I think I'll stick with the slightly more muted ones here. Yeah, let's get started. So it's going to be quite a quick one. First of all, whilst I'm going along, I also want to thank all my new subscribers. It's so much appreciated that you like what I do, and I'm hoping to continue to inspire you here. So I'm just using the script stamp from the mixed media set, and I'm just making sure that I've got it the right way around. With script, it always, you don't want it really to go upside down. A good indication is to see where your lines through the T's are going, so I've got them up here, so that's quite good. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use light the Memento Sweet Plum to start with, and I just very lightly dab it, and if it gets blotchy, that is fine. I don't want it to be a very sort of solid imprint, really. So just making sure that I really still got it the right way around. So I'm going to pop that about here directly on my base card. This is going to be a one layer card. So I got this, and I'm just going to add a little bit more, and I will be wiping some off here with a baby wipe, just to fade it out. And I'm just going to try and approximately line it up that it will work. So there you go. Can you see if you can see the faded edge here at the bottom? And I'm going to, no, I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to do that at the top there. So that was my initial instinct, to have it faded both sides, but I think I rather like this the way it is at the moment. So that's that. Next, I'm going to, what am I going to do next? Do I want to give it a little faded border? Nope. I'm going to go for the splashes, because I can do things around the outside. What I want to do is have like a rose over here, which I'm going to stencil with some paints. So let's just get these here, and I'm going to use the Distress ink, just quite lightly dab it. Again, if it's blotchy, the better. So let's just do something like this. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. And again, so let's just pop another one sort of here. And I'll leave it at that for a moment. And I think what I'll do next is I'll really go into the stenciling, because I feel for everything else I now need to sort of see where my rose is going to go. So I'm just going to take my stencil. I've decided I wanted it this way around. So I want that to go about here, and then actually the splotches almost look as if there are leaves on this side. So what I need to do is I need to get some masking on there. So just going to do it like this. If you use some tape, make sure you're not covering the flower that you want to stencil. So let's just do this here. I think I'll use a couple of post-it notes now as well, just to completely mask my flower off, so that I'm not going to get into any of the others really. So let's do that just quickly, and let's have it go across here. That's that. So only the one that I want to do is going to be visible. And I'm going to do this in purple because I want to enter this one and link it up with the Hop to Stop, which is all about domestic violence, and it's crafters raising awareness about domestic violence, that it's an absolute no-go zone really, and most of us have at least know somebody who's been in the sort of situation where they have been maltreated, and so it is something that really needs tackling. So I got my shimmer paint here that I want to use, and it's called Starlight's Metallic Paint by Imagination Craft, and I'm using the color Dark Orchid. So I'll just pop a little bit on my acrylic block here. Is it coming out? No, it doesn't seem to want to. Let's backtrack. Yeah, domestic violence can happen to anybody. It's men, women, children, and it's probably a lot more widespread than our imagination will allow us to think it is. So it's time to put a stop to it. And the more people get talking about it, the more the one on the receiving end of violence actually can pick up the chance and imagine a different life and finally make the break and get away. So going back to the rose, I've got some paint here, and this is just like a makeup sponge really, that I've used for something else here before. So I'm just going to use that, pick up some paint, and then just dab it in. I saw this at our local craft stamp fair the other day, and I thought it was really nice. I quite like the effect. I'm not quite sure. I think it must be some sort of acrylic paint. So that's that, and I'll have to do more with the leftover paint soon. Yeah, I didn't ask whether it was acrylic paint or not. So this is unfortunately gone through into one of the other flowers here, as I can see, where my post-it note lifted a bit too much. But I'm hoping to be able to rescue that one way or another, because there's always a way of rescuing something. It was probably a little bit too splotchy, and there you go. That's the image. So I should just do something with that little bit there. Let me just quickly wipe the paint off the stencil before I continue. So I'm really rambling today. I'm sort of a bit out of the habit. I haven't done a video for a while. So I'm sort of, my mind is a bit, as much as I want to focus, it seems to wander a bit, and I'm thinking, oh, am I going to do this right? Oh, well, that's just my my insecurities coming through, I suppose. Right, so let's just, this will just quite nicely dry. So I rather like the way this rose looks, and I'm not so sure that it will need much else. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to do I want to do some more there? No, that just doesn't look right. So I'm going to have a look where my sentiment is going to come in before I do anything else. And this is just how I work. I'll start off with an idea and then I'll just work my way around and feel my way along as I go. So let's just see. So I wanted to use this big sentiment Imagine. I'm not quite sure whether that is going to be not too big in the end. So let's just see. So this is going to be my card. No, it's a little big. Right, so back to the drawing board. I'm just getting some other larger sentiments out. It's just that the word is a little bit too long for what I wanted. I would have needed to have my rose a bit more to the side there or something. Unless I pop it in a different place. Let me just try that. Sorry, I know I seem to be rambling, but that's what I am. Oh, I rather like it here. So I think that's where it's going to go. Now, I do make things up as I go along, and I've always learned most from when people were actually almost like explaining how they were approaching something. Hence, I'm going to do something very similar. And it's a style that suits me. So we got Imagine. Now what are we going to do next? The Good Life, a new story. I think I'll go with a new story. And I'm going to play around with where I want it. I initially thought I'll have it underneath, but I'm actually thinking it might be quite nice here. Yeah, so that's where my sentiment is going to go. Now I can see what else I want to do with the card. Other elements that I might want to add. So I don't want to go for more splatters. I think if it's the two, that's enough. Let's just see. I'm going to stamp these later because I'm quite happy with having them at the top there. I'll probably add some pearls or something to it too. Now this mixed media set has got quite a few other bits and pieces. I rather like this sort of circly thing here, which looks quite nice and interesting. So I'm thinking, how would that look? Would that be okay, or is that going to be too much? No, I think I'd rather go for another texture. I might bring that in later. Let's just see. So what is next? We got a border, we got oh, just a ticket. I think that might be quite good. So if we do that ticket stamp, just something like that. I need to see, is there a way where that needs to be? There's stamps, so that's airmail. Don't want it to go that way. Right, I'm going to have the airmail off and I just pop the stamps at the bottom here, somewhere there. Okay, and I'm going to use the plum again for that. And just add a little bit of the darker distress ink around the edges. So that, yes, that's what I've done here. So I've inked it up with plum and then added a couple of bits of distress ink around the edges. So that should hopefully help blend things, for things to blend in. Let's do it here. So that is that. That's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. Right, what is next? So I'm going to do a little bit of spritzing later. Do I need to add some more texture? I might just, let me just see, what have we got? So I don't want any borders really. So I want something that, I tend to have a look at these, the graphics, and to give me an idea. I don't want any borders, they're really nice, but I think that could be a bit much. I can always add them a little later. And I think I might go for this one here. Now I'm going to ink that up with my Dusty Concord Distress ink. Just lightly. And I'm actually going to stamp it off once, so that I'm going to use the second generation stamping for that. And I'm going to pop it in just here. And let's just see if this is dry. Yeah, that paint is dry, so I might just pop it on there a little bit, but I'm not pressing with a flower, but I've done the embossing, I'm just pressing it around there. So let's just see. And I think at this point I really do need to get down to stamping my sentiment, otherwise it's going to be an absolute almighty mess. And I'm not quite sure where I want things anymore. So the colours should blend in the end anyway. Let's pop my stamp back first. Always try and get them back, because otherwise, once I've stamped, I'm not very good at tidying up after myself unless I do it immediately. So now this here I'm going to do with the Elegant Eggplant. That's a really, really nice dark purple colour. It's actually almost black. It's one of my favourite colours, my all-time favourites. So that's it. There it needs to go. And with having the different sort of colours of purple, you just add enough interest to it. So that was the Imagine. Let's quickly get the next bit. No, I'm still wanting it at the top here. And I'm going to pop to ink that up in the same colour, in the Elegant Eggplant. So I'm just trying to get some smudges off that I've picked up on the block. That's it. So let's have a think. What else do I want? Do I want to add another rose? Or do I want to add some pearls, some spritzers? Let's just see. So this is the card so far. I feel it needs something. I got to add a couple of purple gems. I could stencil another rose. Let's just see how would that look. No, they'd be fighting for each other. I don't want to add more of those splashes. I think I'll go and use my spritzing tool and just be brave. So I'm just going to pop my stamps over the edges. It's not going to go the other side. And I'm going to do some spritzing with the Elegant Eggplant marker, because I've got enough, sort of plenty of different colours of lilac-y, purpley, and it needs a little bit, something a little bit darker just to bring my elements together, I think. So I think that's okay. So I don't want to do more with that. There is something that I would like to go in there. Maybe I need some more splashes actually to go over there. Just a tiny bit, not much. Let me just use the stamp on its own. Let's see how that works. Let's do that. Yep. And now a couple of pearls and I think it should be ready. So I've got some purpley pearls as well. Let me just quickly grab them. And then we're going to be ready, I suppose. Well, overall it's not been too much of a task. It hopefully hasn't taken me too long. Just get my toothpick. Let's pop one in there to start. Let's just see. Sorry, I'm going quite quiet because this isn't turning out exactly like I had imagined, because the pearls are a little bit too big actually. I wanted something a bit more delicate, so I've got to go for the gems, which I've got to glue down. And just pop some on. Yeah, this is how I tend to sort of fiddle around a bit and just try and get things done really. Yep, I think that's about right, and I think I should sort of leave it at that and stick them down and No, I think that's it. So if I leave the pearl in the middle and then just have some playing around here with the gems. I need to have another play, and I think I'll do this, but in my own time rather than recording it, because it will make the video so long. I might just grab some sequins actually as well. I got some purpley ones, so I need to have a little play around with with my embellishments for this. And the cart will be on the Stamplerations blog tomorrow, including, and on my own blog, the Tinker Cards blog, tomorrow for you to see, and the tutorial will be up as well. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I shall be back soon. Bye.